Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn love reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take what does. If it does not, leave what does not. All right, we're going to get some romance angels. I guess we'll take these two here. We have past life relationship. You have known each other before, and we have retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Let's see, and I'm kind of feeling like one more. Soulmate. So it could be that you meet someone new and you feel this connection with that person, and that could be because the two of you have known each other in a past life. Some people believe in that, some people don't. I do. So it could be that you meet someone and you feel a strong connection, and it could be that you had known each other in a past life. Retreat, it's time to disconnect from the world, spend some time together with your partner, with that special person. Maybe you're kind of feeling like you're losing that connection, right, with that person, that you're feeling like you're growing apart, but yet you still care for this person, and you're like, yeah, I think there's something we need to do, and we need to get away. Working on it, working on that relationship, working on that connection, right? Kind of having those new feelings, those new energies, moving towards more positive energy, more positive things. Sometimes we get so much into the cycle of everyday life, and we're just going through the days and the weeks and the months, and we're really not making that effort, and we're really not putting that into our relationships. And sometimes we have to kind of stop and reassess and say, okay, what are those things that I can do to change them up, to build that connection, to get that connection back again, to make sure that the connection that I have with my person is strong, right? Could be that maybe you're focusing on negative things, that maybe you're focusing on, some hurt or some, maybe you're not even focusing on the relationship, right? The relationship is behind you. The relationship is not even anything that you're looking at, that maybe you're focusing on other things. And maybe it's time to turn around and kind of, because these cups are already spilt, they're already gone, they're already empty. And there's nothing that you can do about that. And then staying in that energy is preventing you from turning around and seeing that Two of Cups with your relationship, right? Something may need to be rebuilt, something may need to be revived, something may need to be discussed. Maybe there's something that is bothering you, right? Maybe there was an issue or a problem, and it is bothering you, and you just haven't worked through it. And going to a neutral ground with the retreat kind of gives you that feeling of, okay, we're in neutral ground, and now we can talk about these things. Now we can discuss this. Now we can kind of tear down our walls, and we can work on a situation. So it could be that there is something that is going on with you and your partner, and it's time to work on it, right? We have the Five of Pentacles, which is a temporary hardship, meaning that once you get past this, that things will get better, that this is just temporary. These are things that go on in our relationships where we have our ups and downs, and where, things kind of are status quo, and then it's like sometimes things happen, and then sometimes we get tired. We have a lot of things on our plate that we're trying to deal with, or there could be financial issues, or there could be other, family issues that are going on, and then that puts a strain on a relationship. And that can start where you're both kind of, arguing with each other over dishes in the sink, or clothes on the floor, or who's going to do the chores, or I'm really busy, I don't have time for that. What about you doing it? And then having those arguments and kind of feeling like you're alone within the relationship, because you're feeling like it's not a partnership. And maybe that's something to look at. So we have the Ace of Swords, which is reversed. So I feel like it may be something that, you've been trying to get past, but you haven't been able to get past it. You haven't been able to work through it, because that Ace of Swords came out reversed. And I feel like it's trying to make, maybe sometimes when what we need a change of scenery in order to feel like we can really discuss and say how we feel. All right, looking towards the future and having that partnership and working together. And right now it's, we've got all these waves and they're crashing and they're all over the place. And maybe now it's feeling like, well, how on earth am I going to get to that boat? Because the waves are so big and they're crashing and there's all of this going on. And how am I going to get past this? How am I going to get through this? Sometimes it becomes overwhelming and it's almost feeling like we want to give up. But it's important to hang in there, because this is what is testing your relationship. This is seeing how badly you want to stay in the relationship, and you want to be in the relationship, and you want to work through things. So this could be one of those tests here. So something with this tower here has to be rebuilt. Something is built on a false foundation. Something isn't what it seems. But we also have the sun that's coming through this tower card. So it's like good things are coming, even though there's this breakup, there's this shakeup, there's a lot going on, that, all of this is happening. You feel like the world is crumbling, but it's like, it's kind of tearing down those walls, but the sun is coming through, and it's hard to see that when you're struggling. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Cups, and that is a lot going on, a lot of thinking, a lot of, sometimes it can become overwhelming. Right? Sometimes it can become overwhelming when we're in this tower moment and we're in this Five of Pentacles and we have this reversed Ace of Swords, and we're feeling like we're struggling and we're feeling like we can't get through that, and it becomes overwhelming and the mind starts spinning, and it's like, okay, how do I get out of this? How do I work through this? How do I kind of pare things down so that I can work at it one thing at a time, right? We have the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like, again, if this is a test within the relationship, what are those things that we can do that can change it, that can work on it? Spending that time together. Sometimes we just get frustrated with the other person and we're like, I don't even want to deal with it. I just want to walk away. I don't want to deal with it. But then it's like that keeps coming back up. So it's like, well... if it's never really, even though we hope that it's something that will go away, it never really does, right? Time to sit down and make a plan, to figure things out, to take control of the situation instead of having the situation take control of you, to get back into that happy place, right? To have that new start, to have that new beginning, to feel refreshed within the relationship. Could be that there are other people that are talking about things, other people that are saying things. Sometimes other people kind of get involved in our relationships, or other people will say things about our relationships that will hurt us and, makes us irritated or makes us angry. And sometimes we let that affect our relationships with our partners. And he's kind of putting his sword through that and saying, I'm not going to deal with that anymore. I'm not going to have these other people saying things or doing things. And maybe that's what needs to be rebuilt, because sometimes we like to talk to other people about the problems that we're having with our partner instead of talking about those problems with our partner. And then, things don't get solved. Seeing things from a different perspective, I feel like that's big here, right? I feel like it's taking a step back and seeing what's really going on here, right? Am I really focusing on these Three of Cups and I'm not focusing on my relationship? Do I feel alone within the relationship? Are there things that have gone on that I haven't moved past within this relationship? And it's that perspective of, okay, there are some things that are bothering me. I'm not focusing on the right things. And how can I turn that around? How can I change that? How can I make things better? Sometimes we always like to put it on the other person, but we also have to take control and, responsibility for our own actions, that we have to make that effort, right? That we have to show that other person, and maybe we have to take the lead, right? And pour out those Three of Cups and then look and see those Two Cups, because we have the Five of Cups again, and to just let that go and move on from that, or to work through it if that's what we need, figuring out what it is that we need in order to move on, and to see things different from a different perspective, with the Hangman being right next to that Five of Cups. Learning from the situation, learning about how much time am I spending where I'm feeling angry, or I'm feeling hurt, or I'm feeling alone, or I'm feeling let down, or I'm focusing on the negative. Am I spending a lot of time doing that, or am I spending a lot of time feeling happy in this relationship, feeling satisfied in this relationship, feeling respected in this relationship? You know, I feel like it's kind of looking at that to see, you know, what are your thoughts? Like, how do you feel within the relationship? And learning from those, and learning on what are those things that you can do to change them, right? To get that smile back. She has that big smile on there. I love this card. You know, what are those things that you can do? Sometimes we just have to stop, take a look back, see what's going on, and see what it is that we can change to make this better, right? To feel emotionally better, to reach out to that other person, because we have the Knight of Cups, which is someone who is reaching out to the other person. So sometimes we have to be the bigger person, and we have to reach out to that person to say, hey, I care about you. You're important to me. I have that connection. I feel like we are, you know, separated. We're not connecting. We're not working on things. And how can we get this back into a better place? You know, how is it that the two of us can work this out without involving other people, that this relationship is between us? And what are those things that we can get rid of so that we can bond and we can keep this relationship stronger? And that's a new feeling, and that's, you know, that step in the right direction. It doesn't happen all at once. It's something that takes time. It has its ups and downs, but being able to recognize it and see it, and then take those actions, you know, to improving the relationship. If you're not happy within your relationship, then what are those things that you can do to change them? What are those things that, you know, you can take action on? Is it having those conversations with that person? Is it making more time to have your getaway time, to have your date nights? And is it those things that you can change? What is that plan that you can make, right? How can you take control of this situation? Because you want to fight for your happiness and your happiness with your partner. All right, and then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles. This is something that is kind of, you know, slow, steady progress that's going to take its time, but I feel that it's well worth the energy and the effort, because you're bringing that relationship closer together. You're making it stronger. You're building that bond with that person. Because I feel like there, you know, with the soulmate card and the past life relationship, that I feel like it's a strong connection that you have with a person, but just making sure that you work on those things together. And that if you need to take the initiative, then you take the initiative to work those things out. All right, so let's get an animal oracle. I don't feel like it's a breakup. I don't feel like it, but if you're feeling that, then you know, it's what you feel from it, if that's what resonates with you. But I just feel like it's kind of tearing down those walls that maybe you've built up between you and that other person, and kind of working on that. All right, hummingbird spirit, be here now, and working on the now, and working what's going on now. Sometimes, you know, we have those things that have gone on in the past, right? Especially with these 2 5 of Cups that we're holding on to. And sometimes we kind of stay in the past because of what happened. And that affects our future. And we can't enjoy the now. And we don't know how much time we have, right? We don't know. And I just feel that it's like, we should enjoy all the time that we have. And yes, we have ups and downs, and we have arguments and disagreements. And it's a process of going through that. But if it's something that's turning into a long time, that's building up all these walls around you and your partner, is that how you want to spend your time? Just something to think about, right? To see things from a different perspective. Something to think about is how much time should be spent focusing on these 3 cups and not focusing on the 2 cups. And to enjoy the time that we have now, and to make the days feel better and more fulfilling, because we're working on our relationships to better them, even if it's just a little bit at a time. And we're making time for those people that we care about and that we love, and that we don't spend a lot of time, feeling angry or hurt or let down or staying in that energy. Just something to think about. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.